minutes of your life did you waste this year on things that you couldn't control or you had no power over? So let's talk about this for a moment, because there's certain things that you gotta let go of in your life that cannot go with you in 2022 unless you want 2022 to look like 2021, to look like 2020, to look like 2019, to look like 2010. And so many times I look back in my life and be like, damn, I wasted so many minutes on things that I couldn't control. We'll start right here. How many of you in here, and be honest with yourself and be real with yourself, you wasted minutes minding other people's business. You wasted minutes worrying about somebody else's life. You wasted minutes worrying about somebody else's life, worrying about somebody else's problems. Some of you wasted minutes participating in other people's problems, being entertained by other people's problems, carrying other people's problems that did absolutely nothing for your life. And we sit here and we say that, man, I want the most out of my life. Man, I'm gonna make this year my year. Man, all these things are against me. But no, sometimes the thing that is against you is you. Sometimes the thing that's against you is what you're choosing to keep yourself indulged in. Sometimes the thing that's against you is the things that you keep allowing in your life. Some of us, we're tolerating too much stuff in our life. And the more you tolerate, the more you separate from your peace. The more you tolerate, the more you separate from your growth. The more you tolerate, the more you separate from your greatness. Because once you realize, bro, once you realize, and this is a conversation I had with myself. Once you realize, what's up, Jacqueline? Once you realize that, and some of us, we hear this, but we don't understand it. I know we don't understand it because we don't live with urgency. We don't live with urgency. I saw Kobe's trainer, my friend, I can't even think of his name right now. I'm in a zone. Tim Grover, right? And he talked about his last moments with Kobe. He said, man, we don't have time. You got to operate with urgency. And he said, man, I wish I was wrong. I wish I was wrong. But that's just the fact of life, is that we don't have time. And some of us, we waste our time on things that don't bring the things that we need in our life. How many minutes of your life have you wasted this year on things that you can't control, on nonsense, on BS, on drama, on things that did absolutely nothing for your life? And I'm not talking about being selfish. I'm not talking about helping people. Don't take this out of context. You know what I mean. How many of you in here have wasted so many minutes of your life? I know I have, comparing your life this year. What has comparison done for you? And I need y'all to share this right now if you're feeling this, because I know I'm going in, man. I'm passionate right now. That's why I came to the garage, because I'm about to start probably yelling, waking up my neighbors. But how many of you in here, I know I have, I can raise my hand and be honest, say amen in the comments, drop a heart, drop a like. You wasted too many minutes of your life this year comparing your life. Comparing your life. And that comparison has paralyzed your greatness, because you talk yourself out of it. Oh man, I can't do a live like Trent, so I ain't gonna try. Oh, I can't look like this. I don't have filters like that. Oh, I can't. And you talk yourself out of it. And you wasted so much of your life this year, so many minutes on comparison. Just imagine if you, oh man, speak to me. Just imagine if you traded those comparison minutes for appreciation minutes. Just imagine if you say, you know what, next year, 2022, actually right now, I'm going to make a decision, because we're not going to wait till 2022. I'm going to make a decision right now that I'm going to stop comparing my life, and I'm going to start appreciating my life. Because I promise you, if you can look at your scoreboard at the end of the year and be like, man, how much time did I spend here? How many minutes did I spend in comparison or appreciation? If you spend 10-1, because we're human beings, we're going to compare by nature. But if you are intentional about appreciating your life, I promise you, you will live a more fulfilled life, you will live a more peaceful life, you will live a more full life. How many of you in here, you spent too many minutes comparing your life? Looking out at somebody's social media page and comparing your relationship to theirs. Looking out at somebody's business, you comparing your business to theirs. What has that done for you? I'm not talking about in a healthy comparison when you take things and apply it to your life. I'm talking about that in a healthy comparison where it's done nothing but make you feel more insecure about yourself. Where it's done nothing but make you feel more guilty about yourself. Where it's done nothing but made you feel more less about yourself. So what I need you to do right now is make a decision. Don't do this damn thing for me. Don't do it for me. Do it for you. I need you to make a decision right now to say, you know what, I'm going to get out the business of comparison as much as I can. And every time comparison pops up, every time I spend a second of comparison, I'm going to spend 10 minutes on appreciation. Every time I'm going to 10 to 1 it. And that just came to my mind right now. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to 10 to 1. Every time a second of comparison comes in my mind, I'm scrolling mindlessly on social media. I'm comparing my life. Oh, I don't have what they have. I don't have a house like theirs. Oh, I don't have this. I don't have hair like theirs. Oh, they have more followers than me. Oh, every time that happens, I want you to spend 10 minutes in appreciation. And watch how your life changes. Watch how your life changes. How many minutes, man? And some of y'all want to know. It's okay to be real in here. This is straight up. This is rehab time. This is where we be open and honest and real. I spend way too many minutes. I couldn't even count the minutes. I was like, man, I got to get out this comparison stuff, man. Because a lot of it was not intentional comparison. Like you said, you pick up your phone and start scrolling social media, okay? So get out the business of appreciation. So let's trade in those minutes. I mean, get out the business of comparison, excuse me. Let's trade in those minutes for appreciation. Next question I want to ask you is, how many minutes have you spent? Have you spent? And I want to go back to this because I really want to dive in this. How many minutes have you spent in other people's business? Just think about that for a moment, right? Not trying to help them out their situation, but being entertained by other people's business. What if you traded in minding other people's business, and you traded in those minutes, and you took those minutes and put those minutes into minding your own? How much would your life change, right? How many minutes did you spend being entertained by someone else's downfall, being entertained by someone else's drama, being entertained by someone else's toxic mess, being entertained by someone else's, downfall? How many minutes? Because what we're going to do is that 10 to 1, every time it comes up where I want to mind someone else's business that I shouldn't be minding, that does nothing for my life, that I can't even help them, that I'm just hoping whatever, I'm going to take that 1 second, I'm going to catch myself, I'm going to check myself, and I'm going to spend 10 minutes on minding my own. Every time I look at somebody's life and I look and I want to judge their life, some of us, we spend so many minutes this year judging people, condemning people, right? Because they believe different than you, because they look different than you, because they voted different than you, because they chose something different than you. And you spend so many minutes creating more separation in this world. How many minutes? Oh, man. Some of y'all about to get off right now, and it's all good. Because this live probably ain't for you, right? Go listen to some stuff that's probably going to just be, one of those things that don't hold you accountable, because this is the people that want to be held accountable. This live is the people that understand it all starts with you. These are conversations that I have with myself. But what if we took those minutes of creating separation? Right? How many of you have created more separation this year? I know I have in certain areas of my life that I can look at like, damn, you know what? I did create some separation right there. You know what I'm saying? I can be honest and be real with myself, because if you can't be real with yourself, how can you be real with someone else? And so I want to take those minutes that I spent, even though it wasn't a lot, with separation, and I want to take those minutes and move those minutes into connection. So every time the urge of me wants to create something that separates people, or wants to judge somebody, or wants to tear somebody down, or wants to hate on somebody, I'm going to take that and I'm going to spend 10 minutes making sure I bring more connection in the world. Because we ask, how can we change the world? We don't change the world by creating more separation in it. We change the world by building connection. We change the world by understanding. We change the world by being less judgmental. How many minutes have you spent? Is my question to you. How many minutes have you spent this year? Have you spent this year keeping people in your life that don't need to be there no more? How many minutes of this year have you spent this year keeping yourself in pain? Keeping yourself in the same toxic mess? Some of us, we spent the whole year doing it. And some of us, we ain't made no changes, no decisions. We think that a miracle is just going to happen and things are just going to change. I can stay in the pain and I can magically be healed. It doesn't work like that. And when I talk about pain, it could be health-wise, it could be spiritual-wise, it could be emotional-wise. Only you know. But how many minutes have you spent? How many minutes have you spent indulging yourself and keeping yourself in environments that don't grow your life? Some of us, we're like that flower in the garden, right? I got a tree in the backyard. I got 3 bushes in my backyard, and it's crazy. I got 3 bushes in my backyard, and 2 bushes in my backyard are growing. They're flourishing. It's a harvest back there, but it's 1 bush that's dying, and I don't know why. Obviously, that environment isn't good for that bush. And some of us, we are that bush. We're keeping ourselves in an environment that isn't good for us, and we're dying and we're withering away, and we're spending all our time in that place. In 2022, right now, this moment, this new year, this moment, this second for you, this day for you, you have to make a decision and say, you know what? I'm going to take those minutes that I'm spending in pain, and I'm going to take those minutes and I'm going to put it to spending in power. And power isn't always easy. Power isn't always the yellow brick road. But every time I spend a second in pain, I want to go back to that pain, I'm going to spend 10 minutes in my power. I'm going to spend 10 minutes in my power and asking myself, what do I really want for my life? What can I really do this year to really make this year my year? Instead of talking about this is a new year, new me, and it ends up being the same year, same me, or new year, same me. How can I make this year actually my year? Is the question I want to ask you. Because a lot of us, man, I see it in my inbox all the time. Some of you have been asking me the same questions for the last 10 years. And I'm not trying to pick on you. I'm not trying to be insensitive. But I've told you over and over and over again, you can't change things without making changes. And I know it's hard. I know it's all these questions that I'm telling you, that I'm asking you about minutes, I've asked myself. I've asked myself. And when you get serious about your life and you realize how precious this damn life is, you don't want to waste another minute in your life. You don't want to waste another minute. Thanks for the stars. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the comments. Question. How many of you, right, how many minutes this year, wasted minutes, right? Wasted minutes. How many of you have wasted minutes? Y'all with me still, man? Because I'm hesitant about going here. How many of you have wasted minutes this year carrying other people's problems? Some of you have spent this whole year carrying other people's problems. And I'm not telling you not to be a light and a servant for other people. Y'all know my heart. But some of us, we're carrying other people's problems that they don't want to even try to solve or fix themselves. And all we have done is we spend so much of our year being somebody else's punching bag, being somebody else's ear, but our ear has been filled with negativity. Our ear has been filled with drama. We've been someone else's garbage can and allowing them to dump their garbage in our life. Some of us have been professional garbage cans and dumpsters this whole year. And we just allow garbage in our life. And listen, we all got to be a dumpster at some point, right? We all got to be a dumpster. We all got our mess that we need dumpsters in our life. But some of you are allowing the same person, right? You like the trash man. You come into the same person's house every single week. They got the same trash, the same mess, the same problems, and you picking it up and you put it into your life. And now you carrying their burdens, now you carrying their problems, and you wonder why your life is so heavy. Some of us, we live such a heavy life this year because we're carrying other people's mess. And I'm not telling you not to be a person that helps people, not to be a servant person. You know that's my heart. That's why I'm on this live right now. But what I'm telling you is that it has to get to a point where you stop shouldering everybody's burdens. Everybody's burdens. And somebody just asked, how do you break away from wasted time? You stop wasting your time on it. And you say, you know what? I'm going to focus my time on these things that move my life forward. Some of us, we wasted time in our fear this year. How many minutes have you spent in fear? How many minutes have you spent in fear this year? Think about that for a moment. I know I spent a lot. I spent way more than I wanted to in fear this year. Because a lot happened in my life this year. And I spent a lot of time in fear. A lot of wasted minutes in fear because I know God doesn't give us a spirit of fear, so that got to be wasted minutes. But we're human, we're going to experience fear, we're going to feel fear, we're going to go through fear. But some of us, we lived a fearful year. This whole year. You allow fear to keep you in situations that your common sense told you to get out of. You allow fear to keep you in situations that God has showed you to get out of. You allow fear to keep you from pursuing what God has called you to do. You allow fear to keep you not from saying the things that you know need to be said. You allow fear to keep you from actually stepping up and standing up for yourself and not tolerating disrespect. We've allowed fear to control our lives. How many of us have lived way too much in fear this year? That we start spending those minutes. So just imagine If you took those minutes and you put those minutes into faith, if you put those minutes into elevating your life, if you put those minutes into power, some of you might say, Trent, how do I operate in my power? You operate in your imperfections. You operate not worried about being judged. You operate not worried about people's opinions, and you go do the work necessary on yourself that you know you need to do. That's how you operate in your power. You take advantage of working on the things that you can control. That's how you operate in your power. What has fear done for you this year? Let's talk about it. What has fear done for you this year? What has comparison done for you this year? I mean, if it's done, and listen, we can always turn a negative situation to a positive, so maybe it has helped you. Maybe it's helped you. But what has comparison done for you this year? What is minding other people's business? Being entertained by other people's business? Worried about other people's business? Create more separation in the world. What has that done for you this year? Maybe gave you a temporary high that didn't last. Past the day, past 72 hours. Are you back to your reality? What is staying in pain done for you this year? What is blame done for you this year? Some of us on this live, and this is where people get off to, because like, nah, Trent, it ain't me, it ain't me, it ain't me, it ain't me, it's everybody else, it's everybody else. Well, guess what? Even if it's everybody else, you're choosing to still accept it. So it is you. And I'm going to be real with y'all. That's the thing I had to tell myself years ago. Nah, it's everybody else. Well, you know what? I'm choosing to accept it, so it is me. Because I got the power to change it. And that's the thing, y'all. Like some of us, we spent way too much minutes, we wasted way too many minutes this year of our life. Of our life. Of our life. We wasted way too many minutes of our life in blame this year. Right? We blaming everybody, even if it's true. What has that blame done for you? All that blame does is give power to that person, to that situation. They keep the power. Because blame makes you feel okay without changing the situation. Blame gives you an emotional high to be like, okay, it's this person's fault, but nothing changed in your situation. Just imagine if you took that blame and you know what? You changed that blame and you put it into responsibility. How would your life look right now as you make the decision if you took more responsibility in your life? If you put more minutes of responsibility in your life? Where you say, you know what? It's on me. What I choose to accept, what I choose to allow, what I choose to allow to go on, what I choose to no longer be a part of, what I choose to be more of a part of, what I choose to do, what I choose to say, what I choose, it's on me. And the people who live by those words, it's on me. It's on me, baby, right? It's on me. The people who live by those words, it all starts with me. It all starts with you. It's on me. Those are the people that make the most change in their life because they don't accept less no matter what. If a situation was against them, they accept the responsibility to not allow that situation to continue to be against them. If they've done something wrong, they take responsibility to change that wrong and make it into a right. But a lot of us, we don't want to hear that message because we just want to blame other people for everything. And again, blame doesn't mean, I'm not telling you that what they did to you or what they done to you is not real. It's not something we should ignore. But what is, like, we can't keep living there. Like, I know people hit me up in my inbox, and no disrespect, but I'm just trying to push y'all tonight to move, man. I don't want next year to be another year. I want next year to be your year of growth, your year of peace, your year of prosperity, your year of leveling up, your year of making the world respect your greatness. I want next year to be that year, and I want you to start right now. That's what I want for you, and that's why I'm talking like this, man. I don't play around when it comes to this, and I've been doing this for the last 10 years, the last decade. Same passion, because I know the alternative. An alternative is people that's in my inbox from 8 years, 5 years, 6 years, and they still blaming the person 6 years ago for where they're at right now. And even though if that situation was horrible, it was horrible, it wasn't fair. Right? You might can blame them for the pain then, but the healing, the growth, the progression, the growing, the leveling up is on you. It's your responsibility. You can't expect the person or the thing or the situation that hurt you to heal you. You can't expect the person, situation, or the thing that broke you down to build you up. You can't expect that. So you got to take the responsibility and say, you know what? This happened. It sucked. It shouldn't have happened. I allowed this to happen. I didn't want this to happen. I didn't even allow this to happen. It just happened. It was unfair. Damn. Like, okay, but I'm going to take the power right now in my life and the responsibility. I'm going to spend more minutes this year in responsibility. Because when you spend more minutes in your life in responsibility, you understand that you hold the power. You hold the power. I have the power right now to allow somebody in this live, which I haven't seen anybody, but somebody says, oh, Trent, you are this, you are that. I have the power to not allow that to affect me. I can blame them and be like, oh man, this person, man, this is the reason why this live and got crazy because this person here talking negative and this is the reason why I got thrown off track. Nah, I got the power. I choose to allow what stays in. Right? Sometimes we don't have the power to choose what comes in our life, right? Sometimes we get hit with the pump fake. Sometimes we get hit with certain things that sound good, look good, the presentation we're loud in our life, but we have the power to choose what stays in our life. We have the power to choose what we continue to indulge in. We have the power to choose where we take our life. We have the power to choose. You have the power. And the more that you spend your life in minutes, in time, in these areas, man, of peace, of responsibility, of healing, of everything we talked about, appreciation, your life will change. Your life will change. It will. And it might not look like a change where, some of us, we don't think our life's changing because we don't have the things that we pray for, right? We don't have the, Lord, I want a car. Oh, my life's not changing because I haven't been blessed with a car. But you don't realize the small things that you can't see, that you can't evaluate that's changing. Maybe you stop comparing your life a little bit more. That brings more power in your life. Maybe you stop accepting certain things in your life a little bit more and you start keeping more power in your life, right? Those are the little things that matter. Stop judging your life changes by external things because the greatest life changes is not an external one, it's an internal one. And I need you to feel that. I need you to understand that tonight. So I want to come on live and I just want y'all, as we wrap this up, to think about this tonight. To think about this tonight. And think about, man, how many minutes have I wasted? And then I want you to think about why you can't waste minutes. Whatever that means to you. I can't waste minutes, man, because I don't have time. That's what I tell myself. I don't have time because I don't know how much time I have left. I got legacy to leave. I got things I got to do. I got books I got to write. I got people I got to impact. I don't have time to be wasting my minutes on things that don't move my life forward. I don't. And I'm human, so I spend some time doing that. But the more I'm aware of how I'm spending my minutes, the more I can now be more intentional with how I spend my minutes. And my goal is to get to the end of 2022 and be like, man, I spent a lot of time in peace. That's why you look more peaceful, Trent. That's why you are more peaceful. I spent a lot of time in health this year. Dang, man, that's why you look so slim and whatever. Real moment right here for y'all. Transparent moment. I spent a lot of minutes this year being unhealthy. Right? For me, some of y'all might be like, Trent, that's a lot of minutes. But for me, yeah. Because I spent some time in depression this year. And that depression chose me this year. Right? So I'm not saying that you're going to be exempt from these things, that you got to be bulletproof to these things. But when these things arise, you gotta ask yourself, man, the end of the year coming, or the end of the year will come. And if I want my life to be a progressive one, then I got to spend more minutes. I got to start spending more intentional minutes than wasted minutes. I got to start spending more minutes in peace and less minutes in confusion. I got to start spending more minutes in minding my own business than minding someone else's. I got to start spending more minutes in healing instead of hurt. I got to start spending more minutes in responsibility instead of blame. I got to start spending more minutes in being the greatest me instead of spending minutes and being the lesser version of myself. I want to tell everybody tonight, that I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for being on this live. I'm proud of you for facing your truth. I'm proud of you for wanting to change. I'm proud of you being conscious of your change and knowing that there's something better. I'm proud of you for having awareness of that. And I'm proud of you for making a decision tonight that if you haven't decided yet, tonight's your new beginning. Tonight's your new beginning. And I know it's not easy. I'm breezing some of the comments and I see people, man, it's not easy. I know it's not easy. But I'm going to tell you what's hard that can't be changed is a wasted life. Hey, what's up, rehabs across the world? Trent here. Thank you for watching our new video. I hope it impacted your life. Listen, we're impacting lives all across the world. I want you to know this. It's because of you. It's because of you supporting the messages and sharing the messages. And speaking about sharing the messages, if this video touched your heart, if it's on your heart, please press share, because I promise you this, there's somebody in the world right now that needs to watch this video. And by you pressing share, you become a hero in their life. I get messages every single day say, Trent, I had no idea what rehab time was yesterday, but my friend shared the video, I saw it on the timeline, and man, did I need it. We're gonna continue to impact the world only with your help. We appreciate you. But like I say at the end of every single video, it all starts with you. It's rehab time. Let's get it.